Welcome to another episode of Solutions in 6. I'm super excited to talk about how VMware Cloud Foundation and Pure Storage are better together. And to talk about that, I have with me our VMware and VCF guru, Jace. Hey Jace, welcome to the show.
Hey Brady, glad to be here again.
Let me quickly get into VCF. What is VCF? VMware provides a consistent architecture to build any app, be it VDI or your container-based applications, on any cloud. And VMware provides on top of it intrinsic security and lifecycle automation to make it really easy to build these ops on any cloud. Where does Pure fit into this? We are very closely integrated with VMware and in fact worked on a design partnership when it comes to building vVols for VCF. And we are collaborating across a host of VCF components, be it CNS, NVMe over Fabric, or SRM. With that, one anecdote, right? VCF is really built with VMware validated designs. And I'm super happy to say that FlashArray was the first SAN array certified for VCF as a validated design. Now, all this looks great. One of the things that I often get asked is there a quick way to move to VCF? Jace?
Well, absolutely. So one of the challenges with VCF, at least in the from a conversation standpoint, is customers believe they have to buy new. Well, you can use those existing investments that you have. And what I mean by that is you can repurpose existing gear and your fabric. Now, if you'll notice, I've got a particular infrastructure here in this illustration deployed on Pure Storage FlashArray. It's really easy to move to VCF. We can start by adding a management workload domain. So that would be a vSAN cluster, 4 or 5 nodes, something along those lines that manages the VCF components. With that, we can take our existing hosts, we can decommission those. Okay, once we've decommissioned those, we can then, at that point, commission them from a reinstall vSphere perspective, commission them in VCF, add them to that VCF platform. Once those have then been done, we can deploy a workload domain on FlashArray. Okay, now this can be the exact same FlashArray that is already in use, or it could be a new FlashArray. It really doesn't matter in that case. Now moving forward, we simply repeat, create additional workload domains, and we've got a VCF environment. Now keep in mind, VCF doesn't really support a brownfield type approach, but you can very easily reuse those investments that you have. Now that's one option. Another option is you could deploy VCF on FlashStack. FlashStack is a turnkey solution that VMware or that Pure Storage provides with Cisco. We can run VMware on it or some other particular use cases. We can avoid those deployment pitfalls, challenges when it comes to deploying that full stack. We do also use a VMware validated design when deploying VMware on top of FlashStack. And now even today it's available as a service. Some of the other things that we also support with FlashStack, you can see here, some of the other validated designs, if you will.
This is great. It's great to know that you can quickly get on to VCF. Now, how does Pure really simplify, elaborate on the simplicity that VCF provides, Jace?
Okay. Well, one of the things that I really like when it comes to a VCF deployment with either FlashStack or just FlashArray for that matter, and using your existing gear, is we can standardize those node types. And I look at this as kind of a t-shirt approach perspective. By standardizing node types, it makes it really easy for us to resize workload domains without having to move any data whatsoever on FlashArray. We can run some of those VMs on vSAN, and we can run a lot more on FlashArray, and really take advantage of that industry standard data reduction. And, anytime we buy t-shirts for whether it be a Little League team or those of us in our office, we always have some spares, some extras that are of different sizes. And if we standardize these, it makes it a lot easier, from a simplicity standpoint. Now, additionally, if it happens to be a FlashStack deployment, we do have what we call Smart Config that can really ensure that when we deploy a platform, it's always deployed the exact same way. So from a simplicity standpoint, Smart Config with FlashStack ensures that every time we deploy additional or deploy a new or even additional nodes in a VCF environment, it makes it very simple. And that really kind of sums up is that FlashStack is simple VCF infrastructure. We can grow or shrink resources on demand very, very easily without having to move any data on FlashArray. Non-disruptive updates both of vSphere as well as the as FlashArray itself. We can do those updates in place non-disruptively. We do have faster cluster recovery from an ESXi failover. There's no reprotection involved, those types of things. And I'll also add that we now have this available as a service, if that happens to be a more appropriate choice for your enterprise. Now, Brady, where can we go to get more information?
Absolutely. Before I dive into next steps, let me provide a quick summary. 3 takeaways we talked about. 1, Pure is very deeply integrated into VCF. 2, it's very, very easy and quick to get onto VCF with Pure. 3, FlashStack is the simple VCF architecture. With this, if you're looking for more information, I have 3 different types of videos, a 20-minute video, a 60-minute deep dive, and tons of VCF and Pure demos. Now, I've thoroughly enjoyed talking to you in this webinar, Jace. Thank you. I really appreciate it.